And round two.
Sorry.
It's an awkward moment, but round to another episode of Gone with the Wind. We're here to talk about awards. It's going to be talking about SAG, BAFTAs, everything that happened. It's been a while since we've been here, just because there hasn't really been much award stuff to talk about. A lot of times, it's just been a small guild or something in a week. But we're nearing the sort of end of the race, and some of these races are kind of locked down now. Some of these could be interesting. We're going to get into them. But Dan, how are you feeling?
Oh man, I don't know, Malcolm. I feel like I'm coming down with something. Maybe it's just I always get a little bit of something every time the seasons change down here, and I might be coming down with something. But it's been a busy week. I just got home for the first time in 5 days. I got a slammed week of movies and TV shows and everything this week, man. You don't believe how much I got going on.
Yeah. But we're going to jump straight into this. I've kind of got these organized in order of that when they happened. But the first thing we've got is the Society of Lyricists and Composers, which is all about the music and stuff. The winner of Best Score for a Feature was Ludwig Göransson for Sinners. Score for Indie was Bryce Dressner from Train Dreams. The song from a drama movie was I Lied to You by Sinners. And the song from a comedy was Golden by K-Pop Demon Hunters. But it's kind of very kind of dry at this point. But Dan, what do you thoughts about the winners of the Society of Lyrics and Composers?
We figured this is what this was going to be with these guys. We had a feeling because it seems like it's been like it's a no like we knew this was going to happen. Like it was so obvious. Like there hadn't been any real changes in this all season long. You know, with the song and the score and stuff like that. Ludwig Göransson's cleaning up and it's K-pop, and with two categories in song, it makes sense you have two songs that win. So, and those would be probably the two main songs come March 15th.
Yeah. No, I would argue like those are the two like that are like heavy hitters in that race. And yeah, it's one of those ones like there's nothing much surprising about there. It's like Ludwig Göransson's been getting awards left, right, and center, and as we'll see when we get to BAFTAs. And yeah, moving on to another race that's kind of pretty clear cut at this point, and that's the DGA, which surprised me that DGA was much earlier than the PGA and SAG, because like PGA and SAG was so close together. DGA was like very early on in February. But Paul Thomas Anderson got DGA, and it's once again he also got we'll get to it, but he also got BAFTA as well. So it once again it's another race. It's pretty obvious at this point. Like I don't see Ryan Coogler picking up much steam, but Dan, what are your thoughts about PTA getting DGA?
Yeah, this is like the nail in the coffin for him. We all knew if he got DGA, it was all over, that Ryan Coogler didn't have a chance come Oscar time. But Ryan Coogler's going to win some other awards come Oscar time. So I think they're going to be splitting a lot of these awards. It could come down to those two movies come March 15th. They're just picking up so many wins, all over the place, Sinners and One Battle After Another. But this is a no-brainer here.
But moving on to the Costume Designers Guild, for best contemporary costumes, we had Ober, or I wrote it down as Ober, but it's One Battle After Another. Every time I look at it, it's like I keep thinking of Obafemi from wrestling. But the best period costumes went to Frankenstein, and in science fiction and fantasy went to Wicked for Good. But yeah, like for the various categories, like contemporary costumes, like makes sense for only One Battle After Another. Frankenstein, I would argue, is the front runner in costume, so getting period piece makes sense. And then it's good to see Wicked for Good getting some love somewhere, but yeah, that's not happening anywhere. But what are your thoughts about the Costume Designer Guild Awards?
Yeah, I mean, you said it all, Malcolm. I mean, it makes sense that Wicked would clean up some place in costumes, and then one battle after another. We've all talked about the cuss about. You got Benicio wearing a martial arts gib. Are they called gib? What are they called? Gibs or gib? Then you got the girl wearing the dress and the jacket, and then you got Leo wearing the robe, and you got military outfits. You got all kinds of clothes in that movie. It's kind of interesting, all the different types of clothes that the people were wearing. And then obviously you got Frankenstein. I mean, we were talking about this. This is the odds-on favorite to be the winner at the Oscars. I mean, the gowns just by Mia Goth are amazing, but the other clothes the other people wear is just unbelievable, you know?
Yeah. But then moving on to makeup and hairstyling, for contemporary makeup, only battles, one battle after another got it. For period and character makeup, it went to Sinners. For makeup prosthetics, it went to Frankenstein. For contemporary hair, it went to only one battle after another. And period hair went to Sinners. So only battle, one battle, Sinners and Frankenstein all getting a lot of love here. But Dan, what are your thoughts about the winners at the makeup and hairstyling awards?
Yeah, I mean, we knew Frankenstein was going to be a player here with the makeup on the monster. But it's interesting the fact that one battle and Sinners are in here. You know, I thought that was kind of. I didn't realize that they were such heavy players in the makeup and hairstyling award, race. You know what I mean? We thought it would be more or less a Frankenstein win. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's I think it's still potentially going to be Frankenstein, because I think we've made this argument before. It's like it does tend to go to the most makeup, and Frankenstein fits that build. But especially with this, like for contemporary makeup, I think one battle after another, I think it does, like, especially with the makeup effects for Sean Penn at the end, like the blood and all that, and all as well. So I think I don't have an issue with it, like them, like the other two movies sort of winning the other categories, because I think. But the thing at the end of the day, it's still potentially going to be Frankenstein. We'll get to that when we get to do our predictions. But yeah, but it just shows there's love for the other two movies in there as well. But moving on, we had the Annie Awards. I'm not going to go through every category for the Annie Awards, because there's a whole bunch of categories that aren't going to factor into anything for the Oscars. But the top two, animated feature went to K-pop Demon Hunters, and the independent animated movie went to Arco. And it's kind of dry. Like we've said this a lot of times as well. K-pop Demon Hunters, I think, is definitely sort of winning. I think this is kind of a cut and dry race at the moment. But it's nice to see Arco getting some love. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. But Dan, what are your thoughts about the Annie Awards?
Yeah, this is another category. I think it's as easily. It's not like last year where there was an actual race for animated feature. This year, it's pretty much a K-pop Demon Hunters party, and there's a good chance they're going to win song with the both. They could come away with 2 Oscars for that movie. Arco, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but hey, it was nice to see neon behind it. It makes sense that it did good.
Moving on to the Set Decorators Guild. For contemporary sets, it went to one battle after another. For period set, it went to Frankenstein. Period set went to Hamnet. Science fiction and fantasy set went to Frankenstein. Once again, I think for the various categories that the movies run in, I think it makes sense. And I think these are all players in the production design category, so it's going to be interesting to see which one ultimately comes up on top. But we'll get to that when we get to the predictions. But Dan, what are your thoughts about the winners of the Set Decorators Guild?
Yeah, I mean this is we were thinking this is going to happen for especially for Frankenstein. You know, interesting though that one battle is in here. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at that movie thinking, oh yeah, the sets and the production design are great on that. You know, I wasn't really that doesn't really jump out at me. You know.
Yeah. but moving into the other first sort of big one, which is the BAFTAs. Now I didn't watch the BAFTAs. I was sort of following on in the chat that I'm in, seeing the winners. But Dan, what are your thoughts about the actual like show of the BAFTAs and stuff? And did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I did watch some videos and some acceptance speeches and some things. I saw that Paddington came out and had a thing, and I mean, Baptists are pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of difference from season to season, year to year with the Baptists. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I wasn't that blown away by it or anything like that, but
yeah. I do want, before we start getting into this, because I don't want to get the sort of controversy out the way of because they had like one of the movies, I Swear, is about some of Tourette's and all that. It's based on a real life. So they had the real person there, and when Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan came out on stage, he audibly sort of, now he couldn't control it, so I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying it was intentional or anything. He said the N-word, and there's a lot of people talking about it, goes like, "Oh, what the Letterman and all that." It's like, look, he's got Tourette's. He can't help it, and the movie was about him too. So it's like, it makes sense for him to be invited there. Now, while yes, it's I will still put the blame on the BAFTAs, but not for inviting him there, for not editing it out, because it was pre-recorded and they still aired that moment, because they were definitely editing out stuff, because they're editing out anyone who mentioned Free Palestine and stuff like that. So the BAFTAs are still at fault. They should have bleeped it out or something. But Dan, did you have any sort of take on this thing before we sort of get to talk about the awards?
Yeah, that seems like it's pretty rough, man. I definitely, if you're going to be airing something later in the day, which I think it was on, what channel was it on here in America? I forgot what station it was. You're right, because England is like 5 hours ahead of us. So
yeah,
the ceremony was actually late in the evening anyway, but it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. And that's late in the afternoon over there. And then so it's going to air at like 7, 8 o'clock here. So that's a 4 or 5 hour difference. You could have edited that out and then nobody would have heard it. But yeah, that's pretty rough that guy would say that. I mean, even a guy with Tourette's, though, why is that word in his mouth? Even someone with Tourette's. I know it's uncontrollable, whatever. Still, but why that word? But that's after the fact. It's so long ago. I didn't even realize this even had happened, Malcolm. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Well, I will say, like, there's two different types of Tourette's. There is the one that are ones where they sort of pick up words from other places and have it in their thing, but there's also ones where they just can't control what they say and when they say it. And it's one of those ones, like, it's not like the N-word is this word that no one really knows. Like, it's still really ingrained, because a lot of rap songs have it in there and all that. So I mean it's not that it's this unknown word, and yeah, it was one of those ones, like, and I think Alan Cumming, like, because he came out afterwards and kind of like apologized on behalf and that, and said, like, explained it and all that, and yeah, but yeah, anyway, moving on from that, the winner of the EE Rising Star Award went to Robert Aramayo from the movie I Swear, Rich, you're going to hear that a few times throughout this as well. The winner of Best Children's and Family Movie went to a movie called Boone, what I don't really know anything about. British short film went to This Is India Meotris. whatever the medical term is, I can't pronounce it. The British short animation went to Two Black Boys in Paradise. I think that will be the last of those like smaller runs. Outstanding debut by British writer, director, or producer went to My Father's Shadow. Have you seen it or heard of it?
No.
But moving on to the first big award, outstanding British film went to Hamnet, which kind of makes sense, but it's also like good to see it getting some love outside of the actress. But Dan, what do you thought about Hamnet getting outstanding British film?
Yeah, I mean, they were always going to champion something that's got Shakespeare, one of their great people in the history of Britain is Shakespeare, so anything about Shakespeare, especially something good like Hamnet, makes sense. And I know I think you recently saw Hamnet because you didn't see it right away because it didn't come to New Zealand, but you said you really were emotional when you saw it too, right?
Yeah, no, I loved Hamnet. It was great. Outstanding visual effects went to Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is obvious at this point. And we'll get to that in a little bit because best sound went to F1, which makes sense. Some of these I'll skip through a lot because we've talked about these a lot before. Production design we've already sort of talked about. It went to Frankenstein. Original score went to Sinners. Makeup and hair went to Frankenstein. Best editing went to One Battle After Another. Which
I think it's a front runner for editing. I think if you watch that movie, you don't think that's some amazing editing. I don't know what the heck you're watching.
I mean, like we'll get to it in a bit. Once again, we'll get to that in a bit because I think there's something interesting that could happen. Because I think editing is the One Battle After Another. The editing is really good, but I think it is between that and one other movie. But we'll get to that when we get to the Ace Eddies. They've been announced as well. Costume design went to Frankenstein. We've already talked about earlier. Best cinematography went to One Battle After Another, which surprised me. It surprised me a little bit, but it's like it kind of does make sense as well. But Dan, what are your thoughts about One Battle After Another getting best cinematography?
Yeah, that was a little strange to me because I mean, it was strange. Was Train Dreams in the category?
It is in the category, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't understand. There's a lot about One Battle After Another to love, Malcolm, but one of the things, I mean, if you see Train Dreams and you don't think the cinematography is the best thing about that movie, and it's just breathtakingly gorgeous, I don't understand. Maybe they just wanted to give One Battle more awards or something. I don't. Maybe they didn't go all the way down the list and want to check off Train Dreams. I don't know. I mean, it's got some good sunsets and some of that type of stuff in One Battle. I mean, but I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I just thought I'd have a look, see if was a cinematography's goal. There is, but it hasn't been announced yet on what the winner of that was. So I can't use that as a basis. I mean, look, I'll argue, like, I do think Train Dreams looks beautiful. Like, I wasn't that high on that movie, but I do think the cinematography is still beautiful. But I really love the cinematography in One Battle After Another as well. So I don't have an issue if it wins cinematography at the Oscars.
Okay, all right.
But moving on to best casting, and that went to I Swear, which I haven't seen. I don't know if it's even released in New Zealand yet. But
it hasn't come out here yet either, Malcolm. So we're in the same boat, me and you.
Yeah. But best film not in the English language went to Sentimental Value.
I love that.
But,
when I saw that.
Yeah. Which I think is probably going to be the one winning best film, but it's not like it's an easy category to predict either, because I think I can see an argument for any of the things nominated to win. So
yeah,
But I mean, it's one of those ones like I want sentimental value to win something, and if it's looking like that is probably the only category it can win at this point. But we'll get to that when we get to the Oscar predictions anyway. But best documentary went to Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which I haven't seen. I did get a free trial to a streaming service called Doc Play, which Mr. Nobody versus Against Putin is on, so I might actually watch it. But
yeah, it's a good film. It's a good film now. Is it the best documentary of the year? I don't think so, but as long as it's not The Perfect Neighbor, I don't care. Anything right now, as far as I'm concerned, could win except The Perfect Neighbor. That's my 2 cents on that.
Look, we've said it many times. Like, I think The Perfect Neighbor is that populist documentary that's not going to win. That's happy to get nominated, but it's not going to win at this point.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's won. I don't think it's won anywhere. Or a lot of places.
Well, I've told you too that it's a big hot button topic in Florida where I live. The stand your ground law and stuff, and this actually took place in my county, in a town over there from me, and so this is a Florida story, but I don't think it was handled right. I just don't like the documentary style of it. I don't like the look of it. I don't like. Did you see all the shorts last year, Malcolm? Did you see? Cause the shorts were hard sometimes of it. Did you happen to see last year's shorts, all of them?
No.
Well, there was a short where it was a shooting on a street corner and in Chicago, and they used all this footage, Malcolm, and I forget the name of the daggone short. It was a documentary short, and it was so much better done than The Perfect Neighbor, in my opinion. That's why I said I don't like this documentary, and I didn't like the style of it. I didn't like the way they went about it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Putin is really, really good. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. But best animated movie went to Zootopia 2, or in Britain, Zootropolis. But that's only because K-pop Demon Hunters wasn't eligible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I just quickly looked it up. We haven't got to PGA yet anyway, but my mum Jane won the PGA for best documentary, which also included Mr. Nobody Against Putin in the lineup.
Interesting.
But that's not nominated at the Oscars anyway, so that's not going to do anything there.
No.
Best adapted screenplay went to PTA for One Battle After Another, and best original screenplay went to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I think like those are pretty much the two that's going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those ones. At this point, I can't see anything else winning. But then again, who knows? Either like surprises can always happen.
As we've seen last night on Netflix.
But yeah, we'll get to that.
I know.
But best actress in a supporting role went to Wunmi Musaku from Sinners, which honestly was a bit of a surprise, but looking at her lineage, she is also British as well, so it kind of does make a little bit of sense. But it's also one of those things, like it's worth noting that Amy Madigan wasn't nominated here, so we don't know. So we don't know how they would go against each other.
We do know because they went against each other last night in another award show.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. That's why I was hesitating. That's why I kind of stopped myself.
Yeah, they went against each other last night. Once we get there, we will have more discussion about it. I know.
Yeah.
That your favorite phrase.
But And then Best Actor in a Supporting Role went to Sean Penn for One Battle After Another.
He is cleaning up.
Well, we'll have a bigger discussion when we get to SAG because I know a lot of people was like, oh yeah, that kind of solidifies them. I don't think supporting is that cut and dry. Is like, because yes, like at the BAFTAs, like this is the one time we've seen sort of Sean Penn. Actually, it might have been the second. It might have been the second time actually where like Sean Penn and Stellan were actually up against each other because, like as we know, Stellan wasn't nominated at the SAG. But
was it Critics' Choice, Malcolm? Was it Critics' Choice? They were both nominated together.
Yeah, they might have been both. Yeah, actually, I think they both were in Critics' Choice too, because I think Critics' Choice was 6 as well. So,
and then that was Stellan, and then in Golden Globes it was Jacob Elordi, right?
Yeah, Golden Globes was Jacob Elordi that one.
So that's the same group of guys, right? Same three. So
yeah. So I don't think supporting is that cut off. I know friend of the channel Wolfman is hoping for Dalwood to cause the upset. I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, if he was going to win, he would have won at SAG. I think. Don't you think, Malcolm?
Yeah, I think for him to have a chance, he had to win SAG. But moving on to Best Actress in a Leading Role, which went to Jessie Buckley, which at this point engraved that damn Oscar.
As well. She's got this thing locked up. But that's one of the biggest locks of the night on the 15th of March.
Yeah. And then Best Actor in a Leading Role went to Robert Aramayo from I3 as John Davison, which once again British.
And that's the biggest surprise of the best. I think we saw it coming, but we didn't think it would actually happen. Right? Is that a good assessment, Malcolm, or what?
I mean, it's one of those ones like I always thought BAFTAs were going to BAFTA in one of the top categories. And I think this is the one that it had any chance because like when you look at supporting actress, like that's not as cut and dry as people may think. But I think it's still between two because of the BAFTAs. But leading role, like the top choice was always going to be a British person anyway. So,
well, I mean, the fact that he beat Timothée Chalamet and Leonardo DiCaprio, I think where people thought that was a big surprise. You know, Robert Aramayo beating them two guys, two heavyweights like that. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
but you saw it leading up to it because I swear had been getting an award here, an award there, leading up to this. So we should have figured it out by that point, right?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I think it's one of those ones like, because I think we've said it before, like the BAFTAs are still going to BAFTA with the way they want to BAFTA, and if they want to make something interesting, then I think this was the one that they could because what Robert, like obviously I3 hasn't been nominated.
It hasn't even come out in America yet, so they can't nominate something that hasn't come out.
So it wouldn't be eligible to next year's Oscars anyway, and by then, like it's too late.
Yeah. And, you know, if anybody doesn't know who Robert Aramayo is, if you watch Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, he plays a key character in that show, which is an Amazon Prime show. And he's got a lot of makeup and stuff on and hair, prosthetics and stuff like that. So he doesn't look the way he looks in regular, like when you see the interview, it's like, the only probably recognizable thing about him is his chin. He's got like a big chin.
That was your go-to thing that Robert Aramayo was in. I was going to say he was Eddard Stark in Game of Thrones.
Was he really? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't realize he was Eddard Stark in Game of. Really, I can't even remember him being in Game of Thrones. Unbelievable. All right. Thank you for telling me, Nugget. I have to go back and watch it.
He was young Eddard Stark in the 6th and 7th seasons.
Oh, okay.
But moving on to Best Director, as we see when we talked about the DGAs, it went to PGA. And that's pretty much what's going to happen at the Oscars. And then Best Film went to One Battle After Another, which I would like to say is probably going to get Best Picture, but it's also going to be interesting as well, because I think there's a lot of things in play that could make things a little bit more interesting there.
Yeah, well, we'll get to what happened last night.
Yeah. And that was the BAFTAs. Then moving on, Visual Effects Society had the awards. They went to Avatar, Fire and Ash. I mean, at this point, that's kind of a lot. Now, the Ace Eddies Award, the Best Drama category went to Sinners, but Best Comedy went to One Battle After Another. And this is what I think editing is going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to those two movies. So it's going to be interesting to which of the two comes out on top. But I wouldn't be too upset either way. But Dan, what are your thoughts about Sinners and One Battle After Another both getting awards at the ACDs?
Was F1 in here in either one of these categories, Malcolm? I thought F1 had a chance at editing, and from the looks of it, it's starting to fade away. And One Battle is starting to creep up to the lead here in editing, because of that last kind of sequence, that cartoon sequence.
Yeah, F1 was nominated up against Sinners.
Yeah, that tells me, and Malcolm, I think that's a very telling thing, because it's arguably one of the best edited movies of the year, and yet it lost to what is considered one of the best picture frontrunners, instead of actually winning in a category that it wasn't up against One Battle. It was up against another movie that it had better editing than. I'll tell you that right now. So that tells me right there that F1's not as big of editing player as we thought coming into it, and now it's looking more like One Battle's got the editing Oscar. That's what I'm going to pick. That's what I'm going to pick.
I mean, if it's between One Battle and Sinners, I would go One Battle over Sinners, but I do think Sinners has better editing than F1. I'm just going to say it.
Really? Really?
Yeah. Look.
Okay.
And I like F1. I do think it's good, but for me, I thought the editing really shines when it comes to the sound editing, which comes under the best sound category. I think that's where the editing style shines more for F1. So I think F1's going to win an Oscar. It's going to be for best sound. I don't really see an upset there. Just because I'm looking at this, I didn't put it down in the notes for this, but best edited documentary went to The Perfect Neighbor. But
that's terrible.
I don't get. But then again, the only other documentary I'd seen, like John Candy, I Like Me, I wasn't really that fussed on the editing of that either. So, and then best edited animated movie was K-pop Demon Hunters. But moving on to the Art Directors Guild, which is part of the production design, I think, at the Oscars. But period art directors, the winner of the Art Directors Guild Award for the period movie went to Frankenstein. Fantasy went to Fantastic Four: First Steps, and then contemporary went to One Battle After Another.
That is nice. That Fantastic Four pulled in a production design trophy somewhere.
I will say, first off, I do think it's funny that it's like with different guilds, they've got Frankenstein in either science fiction, fantasy, or period. They tend to flip flop. Because early on, I'm pretty sure that it won the sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, I heard you say it. Yeah. I'm just still happy about Fantastic.
Yeah, it was the Set Decorators Guild where they did it. So
yeah,
but yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad to see Fantastic Four getting some love. But
I love that movie. That production design is amazing. I mean, amazing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
It wasn't up against Frankenstein. It might have actually had a chance to win.
Yeah. The PGA award went to one battle after another. Which
and this is all right. Sorry for interrupting. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah. You're probably going to say what I was about to say anyway, which is like it is the front runner for best picture because of this. And yeah, I know there's some people that think because of a certain category at the SAG Awards that Sinners has a chance at best picture. I would argue it's not a case, and I'll explain why when we get to SAG. But yeah, I think one battle after another is really deserved, and yeah, Dan, what do you thoughts about one battle getting PGA?
Yeah, well, we all know the Producers Guild have a very similar voting system as the Academy Awards. And so that's why people always look at and they have 10 movies. So they have 10 movies and they have a voting system based on points and stuff like that. You give your highest whatever point, then vice versa. What's the name of the system again? Why can't I come up with this in my head right now, Malcolm? The something system that they use to vote on. But in one battle won with that system. So that is why everybody was very curious to see what would win Producers Guild, because it had the same number of movies and one battle pulled off the win with that voting system. And that is why if you pick something other than one battle to win your Academy Award for Best Picture, I think you're going to get a missed category there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
what the hell is the name of that voting system, Malcolm? I can't remember.
I don't know.
What is the voting system of this? Damn it! I'm gonna get this right now, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. But we've but you're moving into SAG, and just because like we've got a bit of time, as we went through some of those other ones really quicker than I actually anticipated we might have done. But so I'll talk about I'll touch on the TV stuff as well, just because I think there was a cool moment here that the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award went to Harrison Ford, which I saw a clip, because I need to renew Netflix, so I haven't actually watched the ceremony. But I've seen clips of his speech, and like from what I can see, it was a really good speech from Harrison Ford about how much he loves what he does and all this. And honestly, like with the way his speech sounded, it kind of sounded like he was saying that he was pretty much retiring from acting without saying it. I don't know if he's got anything else coming up, but it definitely sounded like it was kind of a goodbye as well in ways. I mean, he is up there in age too. I think he's about 80.
No, he's older than 80. He's got to be older than 80. He was older than a lot of the people that we all grew up watching, Malcolm, me and you. Because
not by much. He's 83. He's 83.
Okay. All right. So real quick, it's called the preferential voting system. Just so you know, that is the same voting system in PGA and the Academy Awards. And because one battle won the preferential voting system for PGA, I think it's a pretty safe bet to pick one battle to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, because it's in the similar voting system.
Yeah.
But going back to Harrison Ford, yes, I watched the whole show last night, and that was very emotional. You could see people audibly getting emotional watching that speech from Harrison Ford in the crowd, and people, and Woody Harrelson, his whole shtick that he was introducing the whole package and all this stuff. I guess they're longtime buddies. That I didn't realize they were longtime buddies. And they were joking about how he he tried to get Helen Mirren to do it. He tried to get other people to do the to do the ceremony and stuff, and he couldn't get other people to do the ceremony. He ended up with Woody Harrelson. That was kind of like Woody's like, all right, what was I in a group of 10? That was kind of funny how he was like the third. He told him he was like the third person that he asked to do the thing. But yeah, that was pretty for me. Okay, Malcolm, look, I know you're similar age to me. You're a little bit younger than me. We grew up on Star Wars. We grew up on Indiana Jones, but we saw like Air Force One and The Fugitive and all these when he played Jack Ryan and all these movies when we were young. Me and you did. We saw these movies. This is one of the guys that I love him in Witness. You know, we grew up with Harrison Ford. He's one of the guys. I mean, he's my favorite character in Star Wars. I'll be honest. Han Solo is my favorite character in Star Wars, and I love Indiana Jones. It's just, so it's an emotional. It was an emotional moment for me watching, and the speech really got me in the feels. You know. It just to me, it just shows he's very, very grateful for the career he had. And if it wasn't for the people coming to see his movies, because he did start off a little later. He was a carpenter and he ended up getting on American Graffiti and he got one line in a Coppola movie or whatever. And he didn't start out young. He started out in his 30s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, American Graffiti was his first movie, so
yeah. And I know he was he had a role in Apocalypse Now, in a small role. You know, he had a few small roles here or there, but it wasn't until Star Wars until he got his first big break. You know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about Harrison Ford? Since we're kind of talking about waxing poetic about Harrison Ford, because you're just a little bit younger than me. You're not that much, maybe 5-6 years younger than me. You know, you're in your 40s, right? Mid 40s.
Yeah. I just turned 40 last year.
Oh wow.
But
all right, never mind.
But yeah, I mean, but once again, I'm pretty sure I've seen most of his movies. I actually just saw Witness for the first time the other day.
Good? Isn't that good?
I mean, I liked it.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, it's still good. Like I don't think I've seen a lot of movies I don't like of his. Like I'm a defender of the last Indiana Jones movie. Like I will defend that movie. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
I got a really bad screening, Malcolm, where the cinematography and the camera, a projector wasn't working right, and it really made the movie dark. And so I had to call my publicist and say, hey, I can't review this movie based on what I saw. I have to see this movie again. And when I saw it again for the second time, I really did enjoy it much more than I did the first time. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but I did like it better. I actually like the cinematography quite a bit in it.
Yeah.
But like Blade Runner, I mean, he's great in like Blade Runner. I mean, God,
yeah.
He's got so many iconic roles. Rick Deckard, I think. Was it Deckard?
Yeah. But moving on to some of these other categories, outstanding stunt ensemble in a TV series went to The Last of Us, which
I like that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think this. I mean, look, I mean, I like the I like the TV show. I think it was good. I do think the stunts itself was good. Like, but I mean, it's what looking at the other stunt categories. Like, I'm surprised like it wasn't Andor or like
Stranger Things,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I understand. I respect everybody's opinion. I think they got the category wrong. I think stunts should have went to Stranger Things, or like you said, Andor. I think those are better, more deserved in that category. But hey, what do I? You know, too late now. It's already over with.
But moving on to outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series, that went to the studio.
Yeah, and
I still haven't seen.
Malcolm! Oh, trust me, Malcolm. You want to laugh? You will laugh. Watch, you'll come back. I didn't laugh one time in that. I know how you are. You'll tell me that, I never laughed. I'm like, how could you not laugh at this show is so freaking funny, Malcolm. And with you being a fan of like movies and the Hollywood and all that kind of stuff, I thought you'd like it. You definitely like it. And they're filming.
I just don't have Apple TV Plus. I just don't have. So
yeah, I got you.
Like when I eventually renew, like I probably will renew it as the add-on to Amazon Prime eventually, but I just haven't had the money to do that yet.
No, hey, don't get me wrong. I trust me, I know about money troubles, Malcolm.
But outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series is The Pit. But another show I haven't seen. I just don't have a lot of time for TV shows these days. Like, there's a lot of TV shows. Well, there's a lot of TV shows I've been meaning to start, but it's like have never finished. So
trust me, Malcolm, I'm doing a lot of TV right now, and it is not easy watching the shows you want to watch, and then having to watch shows to review shows. Like I'm starting a binge of Peaky Blinders so I could do the Peaky Blinders movie. You know how hard that's going to be? That's going to be so freaking difficult, Malcolm. I mean, I did Monsters, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters season 2. I did it all in one day. That was exhausting, but I had to do it because I had to get the review out, So trust me, just trying to watch the shows you like and then try to watch shows you have to review. That's even more difficult.
Yeah. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a comedy series went to the late Catherine O'Hara, which I'm kind of surprised. Look, as much as I love Seth Rogen's speech that he did when he came up to accept it for him, I'm surprised they didn't get like Catherine Hahn, who was nominated alongside her in that same category, to come up and accept it on her behalf.
Or Eugene Levy, who was there.
Yeah.
I was surprising to me that Eugene Levy didn't come up there because they're so close to each other.
Yeah.
But I thought the speech was good, Malcolm. I'll be honest with you. I the speech. I mean, that was another sad moment in the show, that she won that award posthumously, because she had some heavy competition in that.
Yeah.
Category.
But outstanding performance by a male actor in the comedy series went to Seth Rogen, who told and I've seen clips, a clip of his thing when he was telling this story about Catherine O'Hara sort of rewriting a script, going, how about this? And
yeah. I mean, he was up there 3 times that night. That's so weird that he ends up on the stage 3 times, 3 different things. Those all for obviously the studio, but
yeah. But outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series went to Kerry Russell from The Diplomat.
That's a great show, Malcolm. That's on Netflix, and it's about American politics. And I'll tell you right now, she is incredible in that show. That was a bit of an upset because people thought that Reese Seahorn from Pluribus was going to pull that one off.
Outstanding performance from a male actor in a drama series went to Noah Riley from The Pit.
Now that wasn't a surprise. Everybody knew he was going to win.
Outstanding performance by a female actor in a TV movie or limited series went to Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex, which I've not seen. I believe it's on FX, which means it's probably on Disney Plus some places.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show, but I was surprised that the girl from Adolescence didn't win because she had been cleaning up at other award shows.
Yeah. And outstanding performance from a male actor in a TV movie or limited series went to Owen Cooper from Adolescence.
He's cleaned up all year. That kid has won everything, and he's great in the show.
I just don't get the love for that show. I've only seen the first episode. I thought it was the first episode.
Oh, you got to see episode 3, Malcolm. You got to see episode 3.
I mean, the first episode was like, I just thought the first episode was like, I don't want to continue with the series. I don't often do that with a TV series, but it's like it's not like I don't think I'm going to like it. It's about but moving on to the movie side of things, outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble motion picture went to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning because obviously
we knew that was going to happen. That was like one of the most no-brainers of all award season all year long. We knew it was going to that.
Outstanding performance by a cast in the motion picture that went to Sinners. And this is the one that people were pointing to when they're saying, well, maybe Sinners has a chance of best picture. That is not. I don't think that's the case. Like, I'd argue this means it's probably more of a lock for the casting category that the Oscars have introduced. Exactly. But picture, I don't think so. Because, I think. Look, I would argue that because of the love it's been getting award season, it's probably number 2. It's definitely up there. But at this point, I think one battle after another. I think it's one sort of best picture everywhere that it can. So it's like I think to say that's not winning best picture, I think is a little bit of a crazy prediction. Yes. But if you want to bet money on it, go ahead.
Throw your money away, right, Malcolm? It's not our money; it's your money. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. No, let me just say this. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I don't endorse gambling, so don't bet on the Oscars at all if you don't want to. Don't.
I don't gamble. Well, I bet on the Super Bowl and lost. So. Yeah. But I bet with friends. I'll do like a $10, $20 thing with friends and stuff like that. I don't consider that gambling. I think it's like a friendly wager with a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I try to get Jonathan to bet on the Patriots versus Texans games. I don't gamble. All right, Jonathan. I said it's just a friendly wager. Me and you, we're just kidding around. It's not like a serious thing or nothing. But no, the word is casting. Okay. It's best ensemble cast. They didn't say best picture. They said best ensemble cast. And guess who happened to be on stage with the ensemble cast of Sinners? The casting director. How convenient, Malcolm. Yeah. That's why it will win best casting at the Academy Awards and not best picture at the Academy Awards. And why I've been saying it all along, and if you disagree, it's fine. You have the right to disagree. If anybody else out there disagrees, that's fine. Casting is going to be a second place award this year. And I stand by that. I feel like best casting at the Academy Awards is a second place award. And by them winning casting at the actors, it shows me that that's what we're looking at here. They're looking at a cast and a casting director, and they want to reward them for something that they think, 16 nominations. Okay, let's give them a second place award. I feel like until I'm proven wrong, Malcolm, I'm gonna die on that hill. I feel best picture is one battle after another.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll disagree with you about the casting necessarily being a second place award, but it's one of those ones like this year. It's looking like that's probably going to be that way for this year anyway. Just because like of how big Sinners is, and to get like the record number of nominations, if like to get that much nominations and not win anything is just insane to think about.
No, we know they're not getting. No, hold on here. They're gonna win best original screenplay. All right, they're gonna win best casting. You don't know. They could pull in a supporting actress. You don't know.
Well,
Go ahead.
I wasn't trying to say that they weren't going to win anything, but like for it to get that many nominations, and if it didn't win anything, but that's not going to be the case, because it's going to win at least something.
Well, I will say this, Malcolm. If it goes 2 for 14, 2 for 16, that's 14 losses. That will be the most losses by any film in the history of the Academy Awards. But they're only going to get 14 losses because they were nominated 16 times.
Yeah.
So you got to it's kind of a bag half full. You know what I mean?
But talking about supporting actor, outstanding performance by a female actor in a supporting role, that went to Amy Madigan from Weapons, which means it's looking like it's going to be between her or Wunmi Musaku. There, maybe it's like, and I'd probably throw in Tiana Taylor as well, because
I would.
Because I think she got the Golden Globe, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, she did.
So it's definitely between those three. And yeah, so I don't think supporting actress is as cut as dry as some people will try to make it out to be. Because I think there's still enough room for something interesting to happen.
Well, look, I'm not that good at math, Malcolm. All right. I don't know how you are with math. I'm not that good at math. Okay. We have what? Amy Madigan won the Critics' Choice. So that's the Critics' Award, right? The critics, right? They have nothing to do with the Academy Awards. There's no crossover voting whatsoever. Okay. Now, the BAFTAs, there are crossover voting. Okay. And the Golden Globe, there's no crossover voting. That's foreign film critics who live in America. So there's no crossover voting there. The two that have crossover voting is SAG, which is the largest body of voters, the actors. And they went with Amy Madigan. The British have some vote. There's crossover. There is. But I think they went with Wunmi Musaki over there because she's British. I honestly think it's Amy Madigan, Malcolm. But
yeah,
this is Christopher Plummer. This is a prime situation of Christopher Plummer. I bring it up because it's the truth. Christopher Plummer, long story career, Beginners. Who the hell heard of Beginners? Who saw Beginners? Nobody. Guess what? Christopher Plummer pulls off the Oscar. What's his name in Ed Wood? What's his name in Ed Wood? He played Bela Lugosi.
Martin Landau.
Martin Landau. Similar situation, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I think Amy Madigan's getting the Career Achievement Award here.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's one of those ones like I mean, well, it's still probably the career award. I still think she's deserving of it.
Yeah,
too.
no, she's amazing. And how about this? 40 years between Oscar nominations. How about that? How crazy is that? 1986 to 2026. That's a crazy gap of time right there, right?
Yeah. But moving on to our standing performance for a male actor in a supporting role, and that went to Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. But it's one of those cases where who knows what would have happened if they had nominated Stellan Skarsgård in here.
Yep, I agree.
Yes, we saw it in the BAFTAs, where the BAFTAs went Sean Penn over Stellan. But as you said, with the actors being the largest body, a lot of these people might prefer Stellan over Sean Penn and wanted to not vote for him, but they couldn't because he wasn't nominated here. So I think there's enough. So I think there's enough room in the supporting actor race for it to be interesting, because you've got Jacob Elordi who ran Golden Globe. Whether or not, I honestly don't think they will turn into anything.
Well, did he lose BAFTA as well, Malcolm? Jacob Elordi.
Yeah,
And SAG.
he was also nominated at the BAFTAs.
So he's
but
lost twice to Sean Penn.
yeah,
I don't think you can go there. I don't think you can go there with. And I know you love Jacob Elordi and Frankenstein.
well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of him.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were.
I mean, I liked him as an actor, like,
Oh, okay.
But I haven't seen enough of his work to go, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Jacob Elordi.
No, I thought you liked him in Frankenstein. I thought you.
Oh yeah.
How much of a fan of Frankenstein you are in him in Frankenstein? That's all. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought he was good at Frankenstein, but this also disproves the theory of the one belt of other people splitting votes, because it now is now giving like a little bit of sort of push for which way that the votes will go if Stalin doesn't win, because Sean Penn is now it shows Benicio del Toro is probably just there, have to be nominated. But yeah,
was he nominated for SAG? Benicio
was nominated for SAG as well.
Okay, so yeah, there's no vote. Was he nominated for BAFTA? Was he nominated for BAFTA?
But both of them are at the BAFTAs as well.
Yeah, it just tells you right there, there's not going to be any vote splitting if Sean Penn won both of those awards. They are clearly going for Sean Penn in those two bodies, which are the two biggest voting bodies, the SAG and the BAFTA. So it would just take an absolute miracle for someone else to win that award, I think, at this point. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, a miracle, but it was also a case of like Stellan Skarsgård is the sort of unknown variable here, because yes, we've seen it in the BAFTAs with them going up against each other, but we don't necessarily know where the SAG would have gone if he was nominated. So
yeah, good point.
So he's kind of this unknown variable in the Oscar race at the moment. But
they want to give him a career Oscar. That's the question. Or give Sean Penn his third Oscar, similar to a Jack Nicholson narrative, where late in his career, he comes back with a great performance and we give him another trophy after winning 2 Best Actors 20 years ago.
Yeah. But moving on to outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role, and that went to Jessie Buckley, which once again we've said it all episodes, like it's the foregone conclusion here. Like there's nothing else going to happen.
No, you're the one. I love that, Malcolm. Start engraving that trophy. I love that, Malcolm. They can even hand it to her already engraved. They already got it backstage already engraved, Jesse.
Yeah. See, at least now we can say it. I saw people saying it after they saw Hamnet last year. It was like saying over that trip, it's like, hold your roll. Like the nominations haven't even started yet.
But I'll tell you what, Malcolm, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Red Robin or Red Rose or whatever it was called, where she was like a British mother and she was trying to be
Wild Rose.
Wild Rose. I definitely recommend seeing that if you haven't seen it. You'll realize what a great actor Jessie Buckley is if you see that movie right there.
I mean, I've seen a few movies of hers. I've liked her in a few things. But moving on to outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role, and that went to Michael B. Jordan over Timothée Chalamet. And look, I don't necessarily have a big issue with this, because like I would argue if anyone was going to dethrone Timothée Chalamet, it would have been Michael B. Jordan. And because I think this is a case where the actors like respecting Michael B. Jordan's career and is like, this is a way to make it up. It was like, we should have nominated you a few other times for some other things like for station careers and stuff like that. And like this is the one that I see as probably more of a career Oscar than anything, because I'm still yet to see Marty Supreme. I will see it eventually. So I don't know much about Timothy's performance there, but I've heard
he's great, isn't it?
I've heard a lot of good things about his performance as well. So I mean,
well, this is the thing, Malcolm. This is the thing, okay? So Timmy won SAG last year, okay?
Yeah,
and they're like, oh well, we're gonna give Timmy 2 SAGs in a row, or we can give it to a guy who hasn't won a SAG, and he may not even been nominated for SAG before. We don't know. I don't know. Maybe supporting. Maybe he's been nominated for supporting. I don't know. and a guy who's really had a nice career over the last. He's been in TV shows like The Wire and Friday Night Lights, and he's gradually made it a career out of the last 25 years of acting in small roles. And when he said on stage, and he said, I literally grew up in front of your eyes. That's the truth. He was a young guy in The Wire, and then he was a teenager in Friday Night Lights, and he grew up in front of our eyes. He really did. And so I think that would be a kind of a career SAG in a way. And it does, after hindsight is 20/20, Malcolm. After the fact, I thought to myself, you know what? This does make sense. They already gave Timmy a SAG last year.
Yeah.
So why not give it to a guy who's put in the work for the last 25 years and done some great work? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, and yeah, and I was going to get to that as well. Was like because I think because Timmy won last year, I think I do think that's the case. I think like Timmy won last year is like we've got a chance to honor someone who hasn't been nominated on his own before. He was nominated as part of the cast of Black Panther in 2019 for ensemble, but this is his first solo nomination.
And the other thing too is there's a clue. There was some clues, but if you look at the presenters, Viola Davis, Best Actor, and Samuel Jackson, Best Ensemble. How they could have put anybody to give those awards away. How interesting that they chose Black actors to give those 2 awards away, and it ended up being a Black actor winning and a Black ensemble winning.
I mean, it's interesting, but
you don't look too much into it?
I don't look too much into it. Just because like it's probably just coincidence. They probably just like looks like they've just picked but that was the SAGs. I don't really have anything else to say on this, but we're going to get into our Oscar predictions now. I'm going to start from the bottom and go to live action short. Dan, what do you have for best live action short?
All right, Malcolm, I don't have my thing in front of me. I am sorry. Can I just give me a second so I can pull up this app on my phone? I should have been prepared, Malcolm. I apologize. I should have been prepared.
It's all good.
I got the app in front of me here. Let me pull this app up here. I've seen all the. By the way, I've seen every film nominated for the Academy Awards except for one. I was supposed to get a screener of the Hand of Hind Rajab. I never got it. I never got the screener of Hind Rajab I was supposed to get. So that kind of really bummed me out, Malcolm. All right, where am I at here? Hold on. Trying to get to my thing here. Come on. What are you doing?
So I'll go first while you try to find that anyway.
It's
for me,
slow. Go ahead.
For me, for best live action short, I haven't seen the short films. I just kind of went for the way I feel it's going to go, and I just picked A Friend of Dorothy.
All right, so you picked A Friend of Dorothy. All right, so I'm picking. What are we looking at again? Myself.
Live action short.
You're picking A Friend of Dorothy. I've seen every one of these. Live action short. Oh God. I'm gonna pick the kiss. The one about the kiss.
The 2 people exchanging saliva.
Yep, I'm gonna pick that one.
I
just thought that one was very fascinating when I watched. By the way, I watched every one of these shorts, Malcolm. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
And I did. Hey, people out there watching. I don't know how many people are out there watching, or eventually will watch this. I did offer Malcolm screeners of every one of these shorts, and he turned me down. So he could have seen them. I mean,
I just didn't want to. It's one of
There's
those
some good
ones like
movies. There's some good movies in there, Malcolm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, it's one of those ones like I just like didn't really have the time to do to sit there and watch all the shorts, and it's one of those ones like I've never been one to care about the short films much anyway.
But you
But
gotta see him if you want to get your Oscar pool right, Mike. Malcolm, you gotta see him. You gotta.
Hey, look,
those are 3 categories.
I look if I can look. I've done all right by guessing Oscar the shorts that time.
Right.
So
all right, good job then. Good job. Hope you guess them right. Go ahead.
But it's also one of those ones like I'm also not like I'm not too worried if those are the only categories where I lose. But documentary short nominated, we've got Armed Only for a Camera, All the Empty Rooms, Children No More Were and Are Gone, The Devil Is Busy and Perfectly a Strangeness. Dan, what do you have for best documentary short?
I'll tell you what, Armed with Only a Camera is really good. All of these are so good, Malcolm. But I'm going to go with All the Empty Rooms. I just think that has relevance today in today's society with school shootings and stuff like that. I think, and this, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say the All the Empty Rooms.
I went Armed Only for Camera.
It's good. It's really good.
All right. And animated short, we've got Butterfly, The Girl Who Acquired Pearls, Forever Green, Retirement Plan, and Three Sisters. I went for Butterfly. Dan, what did you go for?
Yeah, I went with The Girl Who Cried Pearls. Oh my God, Malcolm, is this so good? It's stop motion. It's stop motion animation, and it is absolutely. I did like the Three Sisters for a few minutes there, but thinking back on it, I ended up not liking it as much, and I really like the Girl Who Cried Pearls more. So I'm gonna go with that one. I think the skill behind that one is the best. Then so that's what I'm gonna go for.
For best international film, we've got Sentimental Valley, we've got The Secret Agent, we've got It Was Just an Accident, we've got The Voice of Hindra Jab, and we've got Surat. Dan, what do you have for international?
Look, there's some political things and this and that in the background and whatever. But I'm just gonna go with Sentimental Value. It's of these movies, of the ones that I've seen, The Voice of Hindra Jab is the only film I haven't seen in the entire Academy Awards. Sentimental Value is in my top 10 films of the year. And I think it's the best of this bunch. I'll be honest with you. I really do believe it's the best of this bunch. So I'm going to go Sentimental Value, Malcolm.
Yeah, I also went Sentimental Value. As I said it earlier, like if it's going to win somewhere, it's one shot to actually to get a win. While one of the other categories that we'll get to eventually, but there is a chance, but because of other award shows, it's looking interesting. But yeah, Sentimental Yellow is kind of the obvious choice for international. Moving on to documentary feature, I went for Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Dan, what did you go for best documentary feature?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that as well, Malcolm, actually. Now I look at the 5. I'm absolutely going to go with that as well.
For best animated feature, we're probably going to be the same here, but Dan, what did you go for?
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, if you want to get a category wrong, pick against K-pop Demon Hunters. I dare you.
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters, the foregone conclusion at this point. It's obviously the one to win here. As for this next one, which is best visual effects, it's Avatar: Fire and Ash. Dan, you going the same way?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's another obvious category. Yeah.
Best sound, as F1. Do you have that? What do you have, Dan?
F1.
Okay, it's looking like the shorts is the only ones we're going to be different. The best song is Golden from I went Golden by K-pop Demon Hunters.
Absolutely, Malcolm. If another category, if you want to get it wrong, pick against Golden, because you'll get that category wrong. The Sinner song, God, that would be a crazy if that ended up winning, but I don't think it's gonna.
Well, see, no, I was going to touch on that because I think if anything, if anything is it has possibility to come close and take out Golden, it is going to be I Lied to You by Sinners. I think that's the only one which really realistically has a chance of causing the upset. I don't think it's going to happen though.
No.
But moving on to best score, Dan, what do you have?
Another obvious one. Ludwig Göransson's going to pull off his third Oscar win. This is crazy. And he's got another chance next year with The Odyssey. It's a great. This kid is I say a kid, he's 42 years old. But it's just amazing, man. How much success this guy's had at such a young age. Go ahead.
He's becoming the new John Williams.
He really is. He really is. You hit the nail on the head. Yep.
But yeah, I also went for Sinners for best score as well. Best production design, I went Frankenstein. Dan?
Yeah, I think you got to go Frankenstein here. Those sets are amazing.
Yeah. For best makeup and hairstyling, Dan, which way are you going?
Well, me and Malcolm love a little movie called The Ugly Stepsister, but even we know it ain't gonna beat Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein is also what I've got there as well. Best film editing. Now this is going to be interesting to see which way Dan went for this because I went for One Battle After Another. Dan, which way did you go?
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna go, Malcolm. I'm going One Battle After Another. The tea leaves are telling me that's the way to go.
And
that's look at that category, editing. Jesus, that's a hell of a category.
But moving on to costume design, I'll let Dan go first because this one's personal to me. But Dan, which way are you going for costume design?
Yeah, I think look, I had Wicked for Good in my predictions, but I didn't get it because Wicked didn't get a single Oscar nomination. So that's kind of sad that movie couldn't pull off costume design or makeup or something. So it's obvious to me that it's got to be Frankenstein with the Mia Goth dresses and some of the other coats and stuff like that. I think it's got amazing costumes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're going to hear the lovely Kiwi accent on stage because it's going to be Frankenstein winning. It's kind of at the point where I don't, and I think it's one of those ones we said it before, but I think with Wicked, I think it didn't really do a lot different and full good that it did in the first one that got nominated. So it was like, it's one of those ones I also get why that they ended up missing out. But moving on to cinematography, which could be interesting. But Dan, which way are you going for cinematography?
Oh my God, Malcolm, this is I didn't realize this category was going to be this tough because I want Train Dreams to win here. I think it's got the best cinematography of all these movies. I don't understand how One Battle has won cinematography a few places. I might get this category wrong, Malcolm, but I'm gonna die on this hill called Train Dreams.
Yeah, I may end up changing it as do a last minute change before the Oscars, but at this stage, I also rent Train Dreams, but it's also one of those ones where I did debate just before going live to change it to One Battle After Another, but I wasn't overly confident in that causing the upset. So yeah, but I'm sticking with Train Dreams as well for now. But moving on to best casting, we've talked about this a lot today, but I put Sinners. Dan, what did you go for best casting?
I'm going to go with Sinners. This is the second place award, and I think it's proven that the casting director is somebody that a lot of people really respect in Hollywood, in the business, and I think she's going to get her first Oscar, or the cast, or whatever the heck, whoever gets the award, it's going to be for whoever's for Sinners.
Moving on to best original screenplay, I went for Sinners. What about you, Dan?
In the screenplay categories, yeah, I'm going for where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm going original screenplay. I'm going for Sinners. I think this is Ryan Coogler's second place trophy to directing, basically, because he's not going to win directing.
Yeah, and then best adapted screenplay. Dan, which way did you go?
This is going to be the first of 3 trophies for Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I also went one battle after another. It's interesting. PGA is probably going to do the same thing that Sean Baker did last year.
Well, he won 4. Baker won 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was involved in the editing as well.
Yeah.
Moving on to best supporting actor, one of the first of the interesting categories that we've got here. Dan, where did you go for best supporting actor?
I want Stellan Skarsgård to win so bad, Malcolm. You have no idea. I really love him in that movie. I love his career. I recently watched Good Will Hunting again, and he's great in that. And he's amazing in Andor. I mean, but I just things are just seem to be going towards the Jack Nicholson narrative, and that's Sean Penn to me. Like, this guy who's been acting for decades, and he's given another great performance in supporting, and they just give him another trophy, and that's his third Oscar. Yeah.
I mean, look, I like Sean Penn in one way or another. I'm going completely in on Stellan Skarsgård.
Wow. Okay.
Look, once again, I had a quick look just before this. Like, I did consider it. I may end up doing a last minute change sort of later on, but I was like I think just because we don't know what how it would have gone if Stellan was nominated at SAG, I think he has a shot at winning. And once again, like, people may say this is a career Oscar as well, but it's like, but he's also been acting years, and just the narrative of him like having that stroke, and then pulling off this amazing performance and Sentimental Value, I think it's a really good narrative, and that's why I think that maybe they will go for him as supporting actor, because like Sean Penn's been up there a few times, like, but Stellan hasn't. But
no, Malcolm, what you're saying is so good, so right, and it's just like, it's so hard for me to go against that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the goal is to try to get all the categories right. And I feel like I'm trying to get the categories right. And so I'm going to go with Sean Penn, and that's my motivating factor there. I absolutely love Stellan Skarsgård as Sentimental Value, and I want him to win so bad. If his name is pulled and he is walking up on that stage, I'd be the happiest guy, because I love him in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones like some of these categories is tough to get right. Like, so I was like, because of all those factors, I'd argue supporting actor is one of those tough categories, because like there's even Jacob Elordi could come out of nowhere to take it from both of them. So
wow.
Who knows?
That'd be wild. No, Malcolm,
yeah.
That would be wild. That would be absolutely wild if that happened.
Well, I mean, the argument I will make is, remember, like last year was like, we were like, Demi Moore's definitely getting that Oscar, and then Micah Madison sort of ends up taking it. And and then you also had the Glenn Close and Olivia Colman one from when Ben. I think Glenn Close was nominated for the wife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a travesty. Don't remind me
yeah.
of that, Malcolm. Malcolm, do not remind me of that. That is one of the sad moments of my life when Glenn Close didn't win her Oscar for that. I think that was one of the travesties of the Academy Awards, if you ask me. But hey, what do I know?
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't get Glenn Close nominated for Breakup Dead just to get her nominated again.
She's gonna get another nomination, and I feel, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Malcolm. You can tell me if I'm wrong here. I feel like there's a Roger Deakins waiting for Glenn Close. I'm being serious. One of these days, she's gonna get that Roger Deakins moment, and it's just like she's gonna win, and she's gonna get the right role and the right performance to get the nomination. First of all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but moving on to this other interesting category as well, which is supporting actress. I went Amy Madigan, and but it's also one of those ones where it's like, this is one of those ones. I don't know if I'm getting this right. I don't know if I'm getting it wrong, but it's one that I feel like Amy Madigan's going to win. But Dan, what are you feeling?
I agree. I think if you look at the number one voting body in the Academy Awards, the largest voting body in the Academy Awards, the SAGs, the Screen Actors Guild, they gave her their trophy. That to me is an overwhelming support for Amy Madigan, and I feel like the gap between 1986 and 2026, 40 years, and the Christopher Plummer narrative and the Edward Bela Lugosi, why can't I never remember his name, Malcolm? That narrative, I think Amy Madigan's got it.
Yeah. But moving on to Best Actor, Dan, who do you have winning Best Actor?
Best Actor. Look, I think what they did, for thinking back at it, on the Screen Actors Guild wasn't a bad idea, doing what they did for Michael B. Jordan. I don't think that translates to the Academy Awards. And Robert Aramayo for the BAFTAs, that was a British thing. That's a BAFTA thing, a British thing that they did over there. So it's kind of making the Best Actor category a little bit more competitive than we originally thought it would be. And we're kind of making old Timmy Boy sweat a little bit. But I think he's got this in the bag. I believe he's got it in the bag, Malcolm. That's my 2 cents. But you might have a different opinion.
But yeah, I mean, I also went Timothy as well. And it's one of those ones, like, I do think the Michael B. Jordan win does, like, I think that does put him maybe second place in this category. But yeah, I don't think it's enough to sort of take down Timothy's momentum that he's had. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna stick with Timothy Chalamet, because I don't think I've got any reason to think otherwise at this point. But yeah. All right. Moving on, we've got Best Actress, which we're probably going to match up on. But Dan, who do you have Best Actress?
Yeah, we all have Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most locked of all locks. That and probably Avatar, or probably and maybe K-pop Demon Hunters are the 3 top locks of the whole thing, I think, right? I would think.
Yeah. This is one of the ones that I think I'd argue is a lot. Um, but moving on to Best Director, which once again we're probably going the same way as well. This is one of the categories that I did the double up option on Gold Derby, and it's Paul Thomas Anderson. Like at this point, there's no way it's going somewhere else. But then, what are your thoughts about Best Director?
Yeah, this is easily Paul Thomas Anderson for me. I mean, he's look, this is way overdue for this guy. I mean, if you don't, he won DGA for God's sake. So that's the branch that votes on this. So I mean, if he wins their branch, of course he's going to win this, right?
And then Best Picture, I went one battle after another. And Dan, where did you go for Best Picture?
Yeah, I went for one battle after another, Malcolm. I mean, it's my number one movie of the year. It's the movie I've loved ever since I saw it. I think it's got, you're in another country, but even you can relate to some of the themes that are going on in this movie regarding our country and stuff like that, and politics and the way people treat people, and you get the haves and the have-nots and some of that type of stuff that's going on, So yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. So that's one battle after another. I'm gonna die on the hill of this movie.
But yeah, but that's it for our Oscar predictions. I don't think we may or may not have an episode next week, which is why we did the predictions this week, because like I've got a lot of things happening next week, and I don't think I have the time to do this. Not that we've got much to talk about either, because I don't think we've got anything else to talk about until the Oscars happen now.
No, I mean, I didn't mind doing it now, Malcolm. I would have liked to have kind of waited until next week, maybe Wednesday or something, but it didn't bother me at all. I mean, it kind of reminded me of what I had to fix on my ballot. So
good thing. Yeah. I mean, well, it's one of those ones like we wouldn't have had much to talk about next week anyway, because the only things we've got happening sort of before the Oscars is the Cinema Audio Society Awards, the Cinematographers Awards, the Sound Editors Awards. I don't know what the Satellite Awards are, and the WGA. And pretty much all of most of that is all happening on the 8th as well. So if we did do an episode next week, it would literally be like a 10-minute episode. So there's at that point not really any reason to do an episode.
That's a Sunday. That would have been a Sunday. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So it would have literally just been like a 10-minute episode. So it's like there really wasn't much to talk about there.
The only thing I would have liked to, maybe we could have had a couple more people on here and had their opinions of what they would have gone. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of us would have gone the same things though. I mean, at this point, it's kind of what's weird, Malcolm? You tell me if you think I'm wrong. It started out as one of these hectic races, but it really kind of became a kind of a boring race in most categories. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I kind of do agree a little bit. Like it has gotten to that point where it's like, and it's one of those ones because I know a lot of people have the opinion that it's like, can we go back to having the Oscars earlier in the year?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who doesn't follow it as much. He's a big movie fan, right? But he said, "What if all the movies are movies that came out in 2025? Why are we waiting till a third of the year has gone by to do the awards? Why not put it in January? Something like, or at the end of December or something like that." And I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm all for it. I would love that." Problem is now all these award shows have become their own thing. So they need time to do their voting plan the thing, get the dress. And so it's this whole parade. In a way, it's like a parade. They're all doing their own little thing. Golden Globes, and then you got your critics, so you got your Golden Globes, and you got the BAFTAs, and you got the this, and then you got the actors, and then you end it with the Super Bowl. Like each one of those awards, in a way, is like a playoff. I know you're not as big a football fan, but you know what American football is. But in the NFL, they have week by week by week. They have the playoff games, the wild card games, and the first playoff, and then that's what the award season has become. Like each one of these awards is like one playoff and then a playoff. Then you got to this, and you're leading into the Super Bowl, which is the Academy Awards. Do you agree or disagree with that, Malcolm?
Well, I mean, I was going to counter that point a little bit because like just about every other award show is in January. Like you've got the Globes, you've got the
Critics'
BAFTAs,
Choice and Globes.
And like you had the BAFTAs like in February, and it's one of those ones like I get that, but it's like there really isn't and that's the only reason we hadn't done an episode for most of February. It's like there really isn't a lot in February where it's like we need to talk about this. This is going to cause a really big discussion.
Fill in some of that gap. You're saying fill in some of the gap of time and space.
Yeah. So I mean, like you could easily have the Oscars at the end of February. Easily. This obviously it would mean things like moving voting's windows back a bit as well, but it's like I mean if the things like the Globes and that can be ready in January too, there, and as well as ones like you'd think like if you've got an event coming up, you would like a lot of actors and actresses have probably already started getting their dress and stuff ready, even if they don't, even though they may not know they've been nominated. That it's like you'd think a lot of the actors that they plan ahead to get those dresses made for them. It's like I was listening to a podcast which is hosted by Stephanie Beatrice and Melissa Fumero from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and like she was Stephanie Beatrice was describing her process for like trying to find the perfect dress when she was going to the Oscars for when she was in Encanto where be nominated. So she had to find this dress that matched up with her heritage and all that, and so it was this whole process of trying to figure out this perfect dress to wear for the Oscars. A lot of people are probably preparing in advance to get their dress done in time because it's going to take ages to get the dress sewn up if they're going to do it like a special custom one as well. So
no, I agree with that, but also I want to throw in another thing too, is like these people are working, right? They might be halfway across the world or something, working on a movie or a TV show or something like that. So you got to start changing your schedule, these productions that these actors and people are in, the directors and the writers and the various people that are involved in these other productions. They're working on, these people are all working. So you're going to have to take them away from the job that they're doing and thrust them into award season. You know what I'm saying? And change things. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do. I get that point. But I think it's once again. I think even then, like
Seth Rogen, for instance, he says, "I'm going back to work Monday morning. We're going back to work Monday morning. After the actor awards. You know what I mean? That was I'm just using him because I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, no, what I was about to say is once again, it's if because I mean, it's not like that they suddenly announce the Oscars are tomorrow. Like the Oscars are tomorrow. You've got to be. It's they already know ahead of time. You can adjust because you can even because I think even most productions can work in because to use another example is Leo. I think he's in Prague at the moment for the new Scorsese movie. So it's and from what I understand, he wasn't I don't think he was at SAG because
neither was Sean Penn. Neither was Sean Penn. Yeah.
Yeah. So So I mean, it's just one of those ones. Like, unfortunately, like with situations and stuff. Like, sometimes you just like it's really hard to plan around it. But I think it's if someone is needed to go or is like or wants to go, I think they can easily work into the schedules. Like, right, so you want to go to the Oscars? We'll plan the shoot around these other actors who aren't going. So you can go to the Oscars, and when you get when you get back, we can do your scenes and stuff. It's like,
yeah. They have to move things around.
yeah. I mean, on the note of Sean Penn, is he really goes to award? From what I understand, he really goes to award shows as it is. So
No. Did he? I don't think he went. I don't think he accepted his BAFTA either.
yeah,
There you go.
well, I mean, I don't know, but it's like I think you've got some of these like actors like who are just happy to be nominated, but they may not want to go to the award shows themselves. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Some of these people don't even campaign, Malcolm. That's the weird part about it. Like Frances McDormand, remember her? She wasn't campaigning, and they were just basically handing her trophies. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I think it might be a case of like some actors may think it's like, well, I'm getting all these awards. I'm not going to bother trying to campaign. It's like, I'm going to get it. It's looking like I'm going to get it anyway, so I'll just coast along this.
Yeah, that's what Sean Penn's basically doing. But I did see him do a talk show not that long ago. Like, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or somebody. He did do a talk show not that long ago. So
yeah,
it's not like he's going crazy campaigning, because he hasn't even showed up to pick up a couple of his trophies he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he doesn't really care that much.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a case they don't care. I think it's just a case of like some actors I think it just shows of how humble they are. It's like I don't need a trophy to know how good I am. I know I'm good, or something like that. It's like, so I think that's probably part of it for some people.
And we got to remember too, Sean Penn is playing a despicable guy, and a guy that kind of is giving people the wrong vibes. So maybe he's like, hey, I don't want to champion playing this guy that's such a despicable guy, so I'm not going to show up to pick up the trophies, because I don't want to be like, yeah, playing this guy was great and this and that and the other. And maybe that'll give, because they're right in the middle of voting right now, Malcolm. There, I don't know if voting has ended or not, but maybe they'll say, okay, Sean is showing us that he doesn't want to win because he's not showing up to pick up his trophies. Maybe we should go for Stellan. But that didn't change, remember? Now we're going to get down a rabbit hole here, Malcolm. Remember, that didn't change for Emma Stone because she had already won, and she didn't care. She didn't care that she was up for another Oscar. She wanted to win. Whereas Kate Blanchett, on the other hand, they could have easily given Kate Blanchett another Oscar, a third Oscar. But she's, well, I'm kind of sick of this dog and pony. Remember that? So maybe Sean Penn is in the Kate Blanchett kind of Frances McDormand camp, where I'm not going to go crazy with it. You want to give me trophies, I'll take them, but I'm not going to actively campaign too much,
Yeah. But that is the end of Gone with the Wind for this week. Dan, we can be find you online.
Well, you can find me under my name, Dan Skipallen, on Facebook, Instagram /Threads, X Twitter, Blue Sky, Letterbox, or at my website, FromTheFourthRow.com, where I'm the owner, editor-in-chief, and head film critic. And we just posted Tyler's assessment of the DGA, PGA, BAFTAs, and SAG awards for From the Golden Row. So I just posted a Golden Row article at 6:00. So if you want to see a different perspective of award season from one of my writers, you can go down there and get that. I am slammed with movies and screenings and screeners and TV shows that I have to. So you're going to be getting all kinds of stuff over the next couple of weeks. So just if you're looking forward to a specific movie review or a TV show review, go to FromTheFourthRow.com. I'm going to have all that stuff there from my team. They do a great job, and I can't say enough about the people that work for my website. We do a great job. Also, I'm over at the Movie Hero Network sometimes. I'm over at the Chasing Labels. My episode of Movie Mutation should be out very, very soon, where we mutated Rocky. You will not believe what we mutated Rocky into. It's crazy. Also, I'm over at the Dill Pickle Network sometime with Dylan and Chad on Picture This or Draft Day. Sometimes I do JPO's drafts. So you can find me all over the interwebs.
But yeah, you can find and you can find me on Take Free Productions hosting Rankum every week.
I'm on Rankum with Malcolm sometimes.
Yeah. Next Sunday we'll be ranking the Scream franchise. So it'll be interesting to see where Scream 7 lands on that. But you can also find me on my personal channel, Malcolm's Middle-earth Media, host Spear from the Past as well. It'll be back tomorrow with TNA Final Resolution from 2008. Finally, it's been a long time coming, but that will be happening tomorrow. And I pop up here and there on the Movie Hero Network. You can find me in a few minutes actually for the tour for the ladder series for the 1985 movies. So it'll be interesting sort of what happens there. And yeah, but until next time, that is the end of Jonathan for this week. I won't see you next time.